Welcome to the Black Men Think podcast. If this is your first time here, know that the views and opinions expressed by the Black Men Think podcast are those of the Black Men Think podcast and not the individual members. With that being said, we're about to be unapologetically, undeniably black. Enjoy.
Hey man, so first off, welcome to the Black Man Think podcast. We got I don't I don't what do y'all call me on this, JD? I can't remember what people call me on the podcast. But we're here tonight live. We're recording this live and we got C Wiz in the building tonight, and we thought like, hey, what would be a good idea? Let's see if we can invite some people in. So we're doing this real time. So 20 minutes from now, it might only be me and Corey in here right now, or we might have some other listeners come in because we did this is very impromptu. After our last pod, we decided like it was super heavy, so we wanted to kind of have like a real chill moment. So just really catch up and just vibing with the people. So hopefully we'll get some people in here. If not, me and Corey gonna catch up and see what's going on in each other lives, man. But how are you, bro? Let me start there. How are you doing?
Hey man, one day closer to retirement each day I work. That's the plan. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Right. I
But
feel that,
but but for real, man, just really, man, just trying to stay safe out here. There's a lot of stuff going on. So,
bro. A
man, just
lot.
trying to lay low, man, and it's you know, it's spring, summer weather. Well, summer approaching, and it just like you hear so much stuff going on, it make you not even really want to go out. To be honest.
Dog,
Um,
outside is over with for you, boy. I mean, not even that I was like an outside person like that for real. Outside of working, excuse me, but yeah, dog, it's crazy. Especially, I mean, I'm sure it's going on everywhere, but it's amplified more because we here in the city, and so some things that's been
right.
going on.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm not opposed to going out, but it's just like, I mean, I can just do what I need to do early in the day and then just try to get home and just chill because, I mean, I don't know, man. It's always something.
Hmm.
Just seem like crazy, unnecessary stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of that. Even just people driving crazy on the roads and stuff. Like I've seen, and I noticed this a lot since the pandemic. I don't know what it is, but people drive so carelessly. It's awful.
Dog, so crazy. And it's like everybody in a hurry to go nowhere. That's what it seemed
Right.
like.
Exactly.
I was
But
I was coming from playing golf today, and now it was an 18-wheeler, like just like it made me feel like he was trying to run me off the road, bro. I was just going down Camp Creek, and I'm talking about dude got I don't maybe he wasn't paying attention, bro, but we was on at a light, and you know how when you at a light, he was coming up to the light, but we were all stopped at the red light, and the light had
hmm
turned green, and everybody is starting to accelerate from the light changing. But he was coming off the exit kind of, so he was already moving. And dog, he just like he wasn't gonna stop. He ended up I had to get over into the other lane, and he switched lanes at the same time to the other like so he switched lane. We were in the center lane, and he was coming up fast, and we were all starting to pull off, just starting to go. And I ended up having to swerve to the left lane, and he swerved to the right lane. I'm like, bro, you gotta slow
yeah,
down. Like, what's going on with you? I don't know what he was on.
yeah, there ain't no telling, man.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's just crazy, man. But these gas prices keep going up, man. The roads might be empty, bro.
dog. All right, so here's the thing about the gas, right? If we being honest. So, and I'm in my robe tonight, y'all. If y'all can't see, I'm really in chill mode for real. But the thing about the gas is like no matter what happens with the gas, we still gonna pay for gas, right?
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
I would be lying, man, if I didn't say it was just ridiculous, bro. Like I'll tell you what happened, and I think I was talking to y'all when I was like, man, we were on vacation. And I was like, man, I
Mm,
just filled up in South Carolina. It was gas was like 430 or something like that. I said, but
yeah.
it must have just went up that day
Mm-hmm.
because when we filled up before we left, gas wasn't nothing outside the norm or whatever. But it must have went up like overnight, bro. Because I thought it was just high in South Carolina, but when we got back, it was high
Yeah.
here too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I read something that said it went up like 20 some cents. I don't know, what was the time frame in which it
okay,
went up, but yeah, it went up. It jumped up pretty quickly.
yeah, yeah. No,
Um,
no, it's crazy though, bro. And I was
yeah.
reading something. They said gas can get up to $10, but I think they were talking about in places like California, not Georgia.
10. That's still crazy, man. $10, bro.
That's a lot.
Man, that's a lot. $5 is a lot. $4 something now is a lot.
Yeah,
Like, bro, I really, man, I know it'd be a joke, but like you filling up, you think, did I eat today or did I do whatever today? When I
you
filled
gotta
up a
make
couple
real
of,
life decisions, bro.
for real, man, I'm like, yeah, no unnecessary trips. I need to start planning out everywhere I need to go so I can make sure I hit everything when I'm on a particular side of town.
Facts.
Cause it's crazy, man, and that's why everything else keep going up because it costing truck drivers more to fill up their trucks, cause so it basically is gonna trickle down to the consumer,
Mm.
and we're gonna be we're gonna be the ones seeing that final cost, and bro, it's crazy, man.
But they were saying it's like it's the oil company that's really the culprit behind it. It's not like
About the Yeah, so I'm still trying to. I'm trying to figure out, is it because of what's going on between Ukraine and Russia?
oh yeah, I don't
Or
know.
is it? So I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing different stuff. I haven't really done any research. All thing I'm doing is looking at these prices of gas when I'm passing by different gas stations to see what should I be on a certain side of town to get gas. But bro, it's all $4 and something now.
Yeah.
I think I paid I forgot 39, maybe 4.49, somewhere around there. For
What you
87.
get? Okay, I was about to say you get 87 or
Mm-hmm.
80. Okay.
No, 87 is still that much. So
So at what point do you upgrade to like what is it 89 and 93?
never. It depending on your car,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
cars require some cars you have to get. I want to say maybe Infinity, Acura, maybe you have to get, and probably I mean I'm sure other cars, you have to get probably Supreme.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, if you're driving certain foreign cars, or luxury brand cars, then yeah, you
right.
should. I
Yeah,
got a
they're gonna
Ford,
require.
bro. I ain't, I,
Yeah,
I don't think I require 93
yeah,
in my Ford. Well, I got Ford Edge, so
yeah.
I'm
Just
cool.
whatever the manufacturer recommend. And I mean, if you want to do, 89, 93, that's up to you. But
Yeah,
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 you catching it. But
yeah. By
but
all
those
means.
those I was about to say those with big SUVs, yeah, they really feeling it, bro.
Bro, I got a like I said, I have an SUV, but mine is not like a. It's kind of what do you consider a Ford Edge? So it's a step
Probably
down.
a mid size SUV.
Yeah, because it's a step down from like the Ford Explorer,
Yeah,
and their biggest one would be a Ford Expedition, right?
condition. Yeah.
So yeah, so but still, even with the Edge, bro, I'll tell you, like we normally will fill up around a quarter of a tank, and it still
Mm-hmm.
hit us right at like 60 to $65 on that. So yeah, it's up there now, bro. Ain't nothing you can do
Yeah.
about it. It's gone.
No, yeah, you can't just hope, pray for brighter days and that gas drop back down. Shoot, three something sound good right about now.
See, this
And
is what
that's
I'm
still,
on.
bro, and that's high, bro.
This is what I was about to say. This is what I'm on because I feel like that's the setup, bro. Like, so
Yep.
you jump it up to, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll move on from gas, but like, look, man, we 35+ year old men. Gas is a big deal right now in,
Exactly.
in our life. But look, it's like you get so comfortable with paying the $4 to $5 to when they drop it back down to 398, you like,
Right.
oh man, a relief. But like, bruh,
Mm-hmm.
6 months ago, gas was like low $3, if that,
Yep.
maybe like 2.99 or something. So I'm like, yeah, that's that
This is
setup.
this is where public transportation is a plus.
Man, all right. So shout out to King Williams because we had King on the podcast, and if y'all haven't seen that episode, y'all make sure y'all go back and check in with that episode. We talked about gentrification, but that was just like a small part of the conversation. He really put us on game on just like the public transportation system and like just zoning and planning in the city of Atlanta and how our city just was not built, like the plan was not in place for us to be as big as we were. We continue to build highways and expand highways, putting more cars on the road as opposed to improving our public transportation. We all have been on MARTA before, and we can all tell you that that's not a good experience versus being in a place like New York where I don't need a car. I can live in New York and never have to worry about having a car, but down here, not so much. MARTA can only take you but so far when you're in the city, bro. So yeah, we got to figure that out. Cause I just saw they expanding like 400. They're gonna expand 285. These are $1 billion projects, bro. And I'm like, no.
I mean, if you work on the MARTA line or where you can MARTA bus, if everything that centers around your life around it, then you're good. But that's gonna be kind of hard to do because I mean, it just doesn't work out like that. I mean, it's doable, but it's gonna be probably rare for somebody to be able to do everything and say, I hop on the train to do everything,
Yeah, yeah.
a train and bus to do everything here because it's just stuff is so spread out, and it's like you're gonna have to drive at some point.
Right, right.
Uh,
And that's
yeah,
the biggest deal, bro, because you can't hop on the like you said, the train and then turn right back around and think that you're gonna get right on the bus and be at your destination. Like most situations here, you're gonna have to go bus, train,
hmm
then bus again, and you're
yeah,
probably walking after you get on your last stop on the bus. There's no
yep,
situation that most people just live on the line like a rail line.
yeah.
So that's one
That's
of
the
the
thing.
biggest
I
issues.
remember taking MARTA to work, and it was bus, train, bus.
Yeah.
But but man, getting off of work and walking where I work is across the street. The bus stop was across the street. Bro, getting off of work, trying to cross the street and see that bus pass by, and you gotta wait for the next one, bro. That's a
Man,
headache.
dog,
Bro, they running late, bro. You messed up, man.
dog. Okay,
You ready to get home, man. It's like, bro, I'd rather sit in
man.
traffic. At least I know I'm headed in the right direction.
And you got to think about it too, right? Because where we used to stay at, the 95, the notorious 95 in Atlanta, if y'all don't know it, 95 rides down Metropolitan. And if you've been in Atlanta long enough, you know that's Stewart Avenue, right? So it goes from West End train station and leaves out of West End train station and then turns on Abernathy and then turns on Metropolitan and rides all the way down to I think like Hapeville, right? It goes all the way to Hapeville, somewhere up that way. It
I
basically
can't
just
even remember.
rides straight down Metropolitan. So what y'all don't know if y'all haven't been in Atlanta, what Metropolitan is a road that there is a bus stop on just about every block. So if you live close to the West End train station, then you're good to go. You might
Oh,
have
you good?
3 or 4 stops. Corey and I at the time, when we were roommates, we lived on close to the Cleveland Avenue side of Metropolitan. So we had to stop on no exaggeration, bro. Like what would you guess how many stops we had to stop before we got to the crib?
Let me see. I probably can think from West End, leaving West. All right, so pulling out. It's a train station. I mean, it's a bus stop. I think right there by Queen City.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. Peaches is that
Peaches.
Peaches. Whatever Peaches. Whatever that Queen. I'm not Queen City.
It
Whatever
was
the
Queen. Yeah,
strip
yeah,
club.
yeah.
Okay, unless the name change. Whatever. It's one right there. I guess let me see. One at least if I guess one, two, three, four, five. I would say a good 10 before we even got to the crib. And in the
Now,
car,
I
you
think
think it's
you
more than that?
100% more than that.
I'm talking about from the train station to where we stayed.
100%, bro. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm looking
Bro,
this up,
it couldn't have been more than 10. Let me think. Let me think real
dog.
hard. One, two, three,
J-
four, five,
So check this out,
six. No, I gotta be 10, bro.
dog.
It can't be no more than 10.
I,
It wouldn't be max 15.
I think you all the way wrong and don't even realize it, bro. Hold on. This is what I'm about to do. Let me
And we're
look
just
up.
talking,
You said what
bro.
now?
It couldn't be no more than 10. No way.
Dog, I'm not exaggerating with you. Hold on. I'm trying to
Something
see
one.
what's the. Okay, here we go. Cause I'm just counting the blocks, right? That's really what it is. I mean, so you
Yeah,
like you said.
it's usually like at just about every light. It's no more than 10 lights. It's less than
So we looking at Queen City.
uh
We got
then one at the corner of Abernathy, right? Before you turn on
one, yeah,
Metropolitan.
one, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's two. Then now that
yeah.
you're on Metropolitan, you got Shelton
One,
was the main. That's three.
three.
I know Lillian Avenue was one. That's four. You got Pierce Avenue, five. You got Catherine Street, six. Malin was definitely one. That's seven.
It wasn't one at every intersection.
Bro, just
Mainly the
about.
lights. I'm saying definitely
Yeah.
at the
Oh,
lights.
yeah. Definitely at the lights. Definitely at the lights. Definitely at the lights. But those, the ones that I'm telling you right now, those are like main intersections.
Yeah.
Malin, it definitely was one at Malin.
Is Malin
University,
past the gas station? That's the gas station.
that's right before
I
you
can't
get
remember.
Malin is right before you get to University Avenue.
Okay, okay, that might be the one by the gas station.
So, and you got Lexington Avenue, that's by the gas station. Then you got University Avenue, of course. Then you got Deal. It's definitely one on
Oh
Deal.
yeah, what deal? Yeah, one that deal. Then it's another one there right before you
Genesee.
turn to Perkinson Park. That
Yep.
Genesee. Okay.
Genesee.
Then
It's
one
definitely
gonna be by Metropolitan by the college.
there's one on Deckner.
Uh huh.
Then yeah, you got Metropolitan College. Yeah. Then you got
Then the
Claire
next one
Drive.
probably okay. Probably
And
another one by the Shell. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, Shell.
yeah, the Shell Station. Then you got Fair Street. Dog.
That's what is that? That's probably 10
Bro, I'm way over 10. We was at 7 by the time we turned the corner.
there, huh?
It's a lot. I mean, I put it like it's a lot. It's a lot, especially on a evening after you don't work. I mean, mind you, if you get off of work at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, bro, by the time you get to that spot where we're talking about, it's close to 6 o'clock. Easy.
And it's either somebody getting off or they getting on.
Yeah. Oh,
and
no,
and don't let it and don't let it be. I mean, people got to get around how they get around, but don't let them be somebody in a wheelchair because they have to stop and let the bus down. Which that's the procedure, but it
yeah.
just. I mean, it's not basically all what we're trying to say is it's not convenient taking public transportation. Um,
Not in the city of Atlanta. Not at all.
no, not in the city.
Not at all.
Now, if you're going down, if you're going to a game or something, yeah, of course, the
Yeah.
airport, yeah, you good because those places you can take straight train. If you just had to deal with the train, it wouldn't be so bad rather than a bus because the train moving faster than the bus. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's not convenient.
No, the train is cool. If I lived at Lindbergh Station and was trying to go to the airport, then I'm good to go. If
Oh yeah, you good.
yeah, and
Yep.
I'm leaving Lindbergh and going to Lenox, yeah, that's cool. But
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, bro, it's not what's up. But yeah,
No.
we we had and shout out to our listeners too. We've had some questions that came through in our DM, and I'll put it out there. I'll tell you now that this is something that we will probably have to go in more detail with, and we'll have Mo here on the pod in a couple of maybe next week to kind of going through this in some detail. But I did want to shout this guy out because he sent this question. There's a lot, so I'm gonna read it and then we can kind of go through and break some of it down. So I said, hey, what's up, bro? I have a question for y'all. My name is, I don't know if you want his name shout out, so I'll say C. This is my name is C from Louisiana. Um, I only have a single parent as a mother from the job. I don't quite understand what he mean by that, but he says he's 23 right now and he's interning for an engineering company, and he's the only black person there. And he remembers us talking about the only black person in the environment. And my girl told me about podcasts, and I started listening to y'all, and I enjoy listening to them in all aspects. And I'm on episode 27 right now. So first off, shout out to you from starting from the beginning and then playing catch up and not just like diving in now. We're on like episode 70, 71, something like that now. So you got a long way to catch up with us. So we salute to you for starting at one and going all the way through. Um, like I said, I've been doing my best teaching myself how to become a man. But I want to figure out what do I need to do as a man to, take care of my mom, my future wife, because I know she is the one. Been dating for 3 years and been knowing her since junior high. And what do I need to know whenever I have kids of my own? That's my question, y'all. So first off, it's a lot of information right there. So I think salute to you, C, for asking that question. But I think for us, it'll probably be best if we kind of like take bits and pieces of this, and then we can talk about it a little bit here, and then we can kind of move forward and talk about it in the following week. So, was there any part of that that stood out for you, Corey, that you wanted to kind of tackle first?
Probably the part about what was it? What can he do to be a man, or
Yeah, yeah.
what
And
was it? No, I'm saying what was it? I forgot.
um.
I don't want to rephrase this question.
Oh yeah, yeah. No problem. He says, I've been doing a lot. I've been doing my best teaching myself how to become a man, but I want to figure out what do I need to do as a man to, take care of my mom, my future wife, because I know that she is the one. So those are two separate things. So maybe yeah. So the first thing was like how to become a man and taking care. So first he's equating that's oh, I asked you the question, so you can go ahead first, but I do have something I want to say on that.
So I'll address the him like trying to become a man, not become, well, become a man, develop as a man rather, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, there you go.
So I would say, man, just surround yourself with surround yourself with the right people, whether family members, close friends, or whoever, people that you kind of see that are um, developing and or who are developing or have developed into the type of man that you want to be, and get advice from them. I mean, we're all human. We all make mistakes. Things you're going through is they've probably been through it. And they can be the best people to to try to show you the way. A
Right,
lot of stuff you're gonna learn trial and error. It happens, man. Um, some things in life, you may never discuss with somebody, and it may happen to you. So it's like when that time comes for somebody else, you can be that role model. So that would be my thing. Surround yourself with the right people. Make sure the circle that you have is the people that going to lead you in the right direction. And
right.
um, I mean, it's every day you learn something new. I mean, so just be open to what may come your way, because um, you'll have curveballs thrown at you all the time. But that's part of the process and part of the journey of becoming a man.
Yeah, no, I second everything you just said. It is a process, number one, and I would definitely say find somebody, or maybe not even just one person. Like you might have to find multiple people, but a mentor of sorts, just to help guide you. Because something that he said, I'm assuming that he came up in a single parent household, and there's not a lot of male figures around. So I'm assuming that, but you do have to have some positive male role models in your life. Some, and they may not be family, they may not be blood related, but they may be, a boss at your job, or maybe a teacher, or someone in that space. But I think it's super imperative that you find someone that looks like you, number one, and someone that you can kind of relate to, because it's all about seeing your reflection. And I think that if you're someone that's in a space where you didn't have that growing up, you know, the best way to find that is you're going to have to put yourself in situations that you might be uncomfortable with. So like if you're somebody that's not really used to speaking or entertaining other people, I think you have to find a way to get into some of those spaces because it'll help with your development, right? Like if you're in rooms with people that are doing better than you, quote unquote, or people that the things that you're looking for, right? Like you're looking on how to take care of a family member or, how to be there for your future wife, then, you may need to find someone that's in that position. So find someone who's married, find someone who may be a caregiver to their mom or their dad, and kind of pick their brain and see how they move. And, don't be afraid to ask those questions to those people because it's just repetition. You have to be in a space with someone that's doing something that you want to do in order to kind of learn from and pick their brain and um, see how you can move forward. But that's that was my piece too. You were about to say something, Corey?
Yeah, I was gonna say too, don't be afraid to let somebody know that, you may admire them or,
Right,
you
right.
see them as a role model because sometimes people can't see, the skills and gifts or whatever that they may
Yeah,
have until somebody bring it to their attention. So, be open to letting someone know that and they, you never know what they might be, willing to, you know, take you under their wings
hmm
to try to show you the way. But I mean it's, me as a man now, I'm still learning, still developing, still got a long way to go. And it never stops. But don't discount what you learn at your age now because it's
right.
people under you, people younger than you that's gonna one day be at your age, especially, in 2022, because years ago, I mean, things are way different from when I was your age
hmm
several years ago. So it's like, you know, don't discount the skills and gifts that you have for other people and even older people, because I mean, older people can learn from younger people too. So
Right, right.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's real, man. And that part that you just said too, just like older people learning from younger people, and like older people learning from younger people, and younger people learning from older people. That is a tongue twister at 11 o'clock at night. My bad, but yeah, that openness to learn from anybody, I think that is super important because I mean, the knowledge can come from anybody, man. Like I've learned stuff from a 15-year-old that made me, I mean, even me with kids, man, I'm learning things from my kids just being around them that I, didn't even have to think about as an adult, so you have to be in a space willing to be open to learn. Um, the one part that I'll say about that he mentioned about taking care of his mom, um, I want to say this, and I want to say this with all due respect because I know there are people that are caregivers to their parents. Um, and if you're in that position, I understand. But what I will say is that, you know, I think in development of a man, you have to be very careful about that part, making it an obligation, especially if you're trying to do it before you've actually figured out who you are. um, because what can happen is you spend so much time in development and trying to help mom out, regardless of what mom, because everybody's situation is different. I do want to stress that. Like some people come from single parent households where they mom literally did everything, worked several jobs to take care of, and you kind of feel like, hey man, I want to make sure I help mom out. But I do want to stress that the importance of like, hey man, while you might want to help mom out, you have to learn how to take care of you first. Because if you're constantly trying to take care of somebody else and you haven't take care of yourself, resentment is gonna come in. You are, the resentment is definitely like the big one, but you haven't gave yourself chance to develop truly, and you end up putting yourself in a hole trying to take care of someone else before taking care of yourself, and so that starts a cycle. that keeps going and keeps going, and that's a cycle that's very hard to get out of. So while I'm all for helping mom and dad and brothers and sisters extended family out, the best advice I can say is just make sure that you are taking care of yourself and developing yourself first before you go out and try to help um a family member, regardless of who that family member is. I think it's just super important that you take care of home first, and then you start branching out. Because that old saying is like, man, when if you're constantly taking care of everybody else, what happens when your money stops? Right? Like, what happens at that point? Like, everybody's looking at you like, hey, man, you've been paying my bills every month, and now you lost your job, and now people are looking like, but I still need money because they've become dependent on you, right? And a lot of times that ends up being, that's where that resentment comes in. So just be mindful of that. That's the only thing that I would say about that. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. That's a very good point. Just like on the plane, where they say
Mm.
put the with the oxygen on your face first, the mask.
Be a part of your own rescue, I think, is the terminology or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
I can't rescue you before you rescue yourself. Something, but yeah, basically what we
right.
just
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Right,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, you can apply that to like all aspects of life, man. It's like
100%.
even when it comes to like it's that work life balance, working a job is just like you don't want to get it to the point where you're stressed out, you having health issues, this, that, and the other. You need to
Hmm.
make sure you take care of yourself. How can you be a good employee if if you're stressed out or having health problems because of your job or whatever? But
Right.
yeah, I mean, that's a very good point, man. Take care of yourself first,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
you're able to take care of somebody else.
Yeah, no, that's real. The other part, man, let's see. The marriage part, I mean, I'm the only married person here, but I would love to hear Corey, like, how you feel about that, because I'm gonna read it back just to make sure that we're all on one accord with everything. He says, my future wife, because I know that she is the one. We've been dating for 3 years, and I've been on her since junior high. And what I need to do whenever I have kids of my own. So I do want to go back. He said he was 23 at the beginning of this. So um they've been dating for, so it looks like they basically been dating like right out of high school. That's what I mean.
Hmm.
He was 20. He said they've been dating for 3 years. So 20 to 23.
Yeah.
Um and he said she's the one. So I'll hey I'm a 20.
I mean, so I'm so like I'm single. So and I can't really give you what I say. I can't give you any marriage advice because I'm not married. So I can't go down that road. But I can speak for myself personally. Like I just know that and this is just me now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
All of
I
this,
just know that. Yeah,
all
yeah,
of this is
right,
just
right.
us.
This
Yeah, yeah.
this this is just I'm just speaking from my experience. Like I wasn't mature enough at 23 to get married. So especially looking back on it now that I'm 38, not saying that you're not saying that you shouldn't move forward. No, I'm not saying any of that. So my advice, if I'm thinking, okay, I would approach it as, okay, you're my little brother,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna give you little brother advice. My thing is, hey, if first of all, I would recommend marriage counseling. Um, for one, because that marriage counselor has the expertise to give you unbiased
Hmm.
advice, and definitely get somebody that's they don't know y'all, you're not
Right.
related to them, so it can be unbiased because that marriage counselor can open your eyes to different things, and not saying that they would make y'all break up or whatever, but they can open your eyes to different parts because marriage is and I would take marriage as something serious. Plan to I'm doing this one time and that's it. So
Right.
it's a lot of stuff you want to think about and put your mind towards as far as marriage. So I mean, that would be my first. That would be the first thing I would say. Hey, speak with your partner about taking marriage counseling. Um, Also, once again, how the same thing we were saying about when you're looking for, a mentor for being a man, developing as a man, do the same thing with marriage. Find some other, young married couples or couples that
Hmm.
got married at a younger age, because experience is the best teacher. So they're going to have a wealth of knowledge in addition to your marriage counselor to give to you and your partner as far as things you can look out for. So that would be my advice on how to develop. I mean, I would say don't rush into anything. Make sure there's open communication between you and your girlfriend about your expectations and
Right.
a whole bunch of other things that your marriage counselor probably will talk to you about, and also those married couples, because um, getting advice from other single people probably not going to be the best especially when it comes to marriage. Because, like I say, I'm not married, so I can't sit here and say, oh, you this, that, and the other, because I think that would be unfair. But having a marriage counselor, speaking, having these conversations with other younger married couples and older married couples, and I mean, I think that would be a good start to, seeing how things would go, when you take that step.
Yeah. No, that's actually great advice, Corey. Being the married guy on the podcast at the moment, I would say, in addition to everything that Corey just said, because I can honestly say at 23, I definitely know I wasn't ready to be married at 23. But that's my life, and your life could be completely different. So definitely don't take what we're saying as like, oh man, don't get married. Like, bro, if you know she the one, by all means, like,
Right
go for it. Ain't that out here in these streets, bro? I can tell you that right now.
now,
Ain't that
as
out
a
here.
single man.
Yeah.
But
Ain't
yeah,
nothing out here. What I will say is this though. In addition to the marriage counseling, I will make sure that y'all got y'all finances in order. The beauty of being so young is that you have time on your side, right? Like I got married at 28, and while I wasn't all the way financially sound, we had conversations about finances prior to getting married. So we started, the motions of going prior to us getting married. So I would say at 23, you have time on your side, so to speak, to make improvements. If you haven't already, maybe you've already been on top of that and you're good to go. And if you have, like, kudos to you, bro, because that's a huge step at 23. But if you haven't, this is a good time to utilize this space to do those things. So, like, getting your credit checked, and making sure you're a good steward with money, right? Finding out if one of you all, and some of these things will come up in marriage counseling, but finding out who's the spender and who's the saver. If both of y'all are spenders, then something will have to change. If both of y'all are savers, then hey, that's great. You know what I mean? But you have to find out who that person is inside of your relationship and who that person will be inside of your marriage. But finances is such a huge key, man, because one of the I was reading this article, and it said, people don't talk about money, and the person don't find out how someone feels about money until it's time for the wedding. And when it's time for the wedding, you have one person that want to spend 5 grand and the other person that wants to spend 50. And that's when most people find out how people are in the relationship about money, right?
I'm five.
And
I'm 5 grand.
facts. Me too, bro. Like, me too. Thankfully, my wife was on board with us being 5 grand too. Like, we didn't need that extravagant wedding. But that's, once again, that's just us, bro. Like, hey, if you got it, you making $1.5 million a year, and you want to spend 50,000 on a wedding,
five
hey.
grand.
But what I'm saying is, these are conversations that need to be had prior to you buying a ring. Y'all really need to be having these conversations. Like, let's just keep it
Right.
funky. That's just me being as blunt as possible. Before you go out and buy a ring, make sure you're having these type of conversations, because these conversations are going to let you know who you're with and the person you're going to be spending time with. Like, you have to know if he or she is going to be somebody that's willing to go out and, like, spend blindly, then you need to know that. going into a marriage. So now you can adjust. Like there's nothing wrong with someone spending, like being a big spender, so to speak. The problem is when the other person don't know and you guys haven't communicated that. So now everything is just kind of up in the air. Like, yo, what are you doing? You just spent, 3 grand here or 5 grand here, and the other person don't spend any money like that. So you need to make sure that you know that, because if you know that your spouse is going to be someone that's spending, they got 5 grand in expenses a month, then you need to make that type of money that can carry that lifestyle. And if
Right.
you don't, then y'all gonna be in a world of problems. You're gonna be in a world of debt. And when debt comes into play, then there's other things that come into play. So make sure you're having those tough conversations. I don't care if you're somebody right now with poor credit, you own you're using your Cash App card, you don't have a bank account. If you're somebody that listens to this podcast and you're in that situation, you can come up out of that. But what's more important is that that person that you're planning to be with knows about that. And they're not just
Right.
finding out in year 3 that you don't have a bank account. You don't, you know what I mean? Like your credit is 420 or 520. These are things that the person that you're planning to be with don't need to find out at the last minute. They need to know these things before y'all hit the I do's. So at
Right.
least you can put a plan in place to start working on it. But yeah, that's what I would say about that, bro. So like kudos to you for even reaching out to us. Hopefully we were helpful. And we'll probably expound on these topics a little bit more in the future. But man, just to sum it up, bro, hey, get a mentor. Don't be afraid to ask those questions. Find somebody that can really reflect you, man. Go to marriage counseling. um Make sure y'all are talking about finances, and make sure that you, on top of everything, are working on being a better you before you step into the arena with somebody else. And so on and so forth, man, just to make sure that you're handling things accordingly, because that's just not where you want to be at. Not
Right.
where you want to be. So
And when I say marriage counselor, I'm saying prior to you proposing
hmm
to her, not after not after propose to her already, but before. And that's something that you both talk about and agree to do.
Right, right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, at that age, that's pretty good, man. To start asking those questions and
Yeah.
development as a man, because I mean, you at that age. Well, I mean, honestly, it's right after high school, um, but no, it's 23 still a good age, man. That's young, and so soak
Yeah.
it all, be a sponge, and soak it all in, because one day you're gonna be senior citizen status like us, and you're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be
No, not
doing the
senior
same.
citizen.
Gonna be doing the same thing, man, for somebody
Yeah.
else.
No, that's real though. That's real. And that is what you should do. You should pay it forward. I definitely agree with that. Pay it forward to the next person, man, to make sure that they get in the gyms too. So look, we appreciate y'all. We thought somebody was gonna get here on the live, man. Didn't nobody get here on the live. Um, and it actually turned out okay because we had a good conversation anyway.
Man, we were live with each other, man.
We were live with each other. We were trying something new. This is what happened when you throw the link out at 11 o'clock at night on a weekday. Our audience, like, bro, they going to sleep right now. They're trying to like get prepared for the next day. So
Right.
we'll be a little more prepared the next time we actually throw up the live. But we appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe, rate, comment, review, do all of those things, and make sure y'all tell a friend and tell a friend. Also, we have a Patreon community. If you're interested in the Patreon community, hit the links in our bios, all of that stuff here, wherever that link will be. And make sure you go and support us on Patreon. We have bonus content there. We have a whole other um, podcast, our Black Afterthoughts, that we record there. We even have bonus episodes of a podcast that we recorded back in 2019 with our first initial idea. And so if you want that, you can get that on Patreon as well. So we salute y'all. We thank y'all so much for rocking with us. And hey, outside of that, Corey, you got anything you want to add?
Hey, stay safe, be safe, watch your surroundings.
Cash money. Cash money. All right, man. We'll see y'all next week.
The Black Men Think Podcast.